start with our prayers. 1 second, let me share the screen. Can we all start with our prayers?
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Mukund.
Hare Krishna Mukund. So let's start. 3, 2, 1. Om Agyana
Timirandasya Jnananjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnudaya Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishashanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri
Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaurabhakta.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Very good. So from today we will chant a round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together. Okay. So can you all get all of your chanting bits? It will hardly take 7 to 8 minutes or maximum 10 minutes. Let's see how long it takes today. Okay. But it will create a practice of chanting. Okay. I know most of you are already chanting many rounds. So we can chant one round together. Okay. Everyone has got their beats. You can turn on your videos if possible. If you're doing something else, just keep that aside for some time and let's chant one round. Okay. So which mantra goes first before we start chanting? And everyone knows, right? How do we chant? Everyone knows. So we don't touch the beats with this finger. Okay. And we go chant one mantra and then move to the other beat. Okay. The whole mantra goes on one beat and then we move to the other beat and again the mantra goes on that beat. Okay. I'm sure everyone knows it now, right? Everyone got their chanting beats? Yes? Give me a thumbs up if yes. Okay. So let's start. We have to say the same mantra again. First, we have to say this mantra and then our Maha Mantra. Let's start. 3, 2, 1. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. All of you can unmute. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. क्या समझो?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Yes.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Krishna Hare Rama
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Rama Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, you are still chanting. You just
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna.
everyone done. Shall we move to the next session? Okay, next session is our Srimad Bhagavatam section. Okay, so now I think we completed up to chapter 9, right? Anyone remembers what happened in chapter 9? I've already shared the summary here. Anyone remembers? Anyone wants to share? If you just read it and also share along with your own information, that is also fine. Whatever you know, plus this, whatever is shared. Anyone wants to share?
Maitreya Muni was answering questions that Vidura had.
Yes, okay. Yes, so these are the dialogues between Vidura and Sage Maitreya. Okay. And in chapter 9, what we saw, that Lord Brahma, he could see Lord Vishnu face to face. Okay. So what had happened before, when Lord Brahma was situated on the lotus, he did not understand what is this, where is he? Could not understand anything. But then he heard the word tapa, and then he did the penances like tapasya, like for like many years. And then after that, Lord Vishnu, he could see face to face. And then he was praying in the chapter 9 to Lord Vishnu for his mercy because he was going to create the population and planets, everything as per Lord's desire. So he was praying for his mercy. And what happened? Lord Vishnu, being pleased with Lord Brahma, he granted his mercy by reciprocating to his prayers. So this is in very brief, but this is what we saw in chapter 9. It's clear? Now we will move forward to chapter 10. Okay. So here Vidura is again asking another question, like how Lord Brahma created the bodies of the, anyone wants to read it? Let's go one by one. Let's read about the verses. So, who wants to read? Raise your hand. There is a feature, right? Raise hand, right? Who wants to read this first question?
Mataji, can Advait read?
Yeah, Advait, go ahead.
Vidura asked another question. How Lord Brahma created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So when Lord Vishnu granted their mercy, then he disappeared. So Vidura is asking, then how he created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after Lord Vishnu disappeared. So this is what Vidura is asking. Okay. So he's requesting Maitreya Muni to answer to his questions. Because why? He knows that about the qualification of Maitreya Muni. He knows that he has that knowledge. He has heard it from the Lord. And he knows that all the questions will get answered, right? So this is something which shows us how we should ask our questions to the right source, right? That only then we will get the satisfying answers. When we have to ask the questions, who is able to give the authenticate and satisfying answers. Okay, so this is what this verse shows. Okay, so Vidura is asking him how Lord Brahma created the bodies of the living entities from his own mind and body. Okay, this is one question he's asking, and he's requesting him, please answer to my questions. Then Maitreya Muni started to narrate about Lord Brahma. Okay, are you all following so far, right? Are you understanding what's happening?
Yes,
Vidura is
Mataji.
asking a question about Lord Brahma, how he created living entities, and now Maitreya Muni is starting to narrate about Lord Brahma. So what he said, Lord Brahma engaged himself in penances for 100 celestial years. How many years? 100. And as advised by personality of Godhead, and applied himself in devotional service. Completely he engaged himself in the devotional service by performing these penances for hundreds of years. And then what happened suddenly? Who wants to read this? This is interesting. Sudevi, go ahead, Sudevi.
Thereafter, Brahma saw that both the lotus on which he was situated and the water on which the lotus was growing was trembling due to a strong, violent wind.
What happened? Can you imagine? Can you visualize that? What happened? Brahma was on the lotus, right? So that lotus and the water, they were all trembling. Both were trembling due to a strong, violent wind. Now, can you imagine the scene? Lord Brahma is on the lotus, and that lotus and water which is there, it's all trembling due to a strong, violent wind. Okay, so can you all tell me what this wind could be? What does this wind represent here? Can you think of something?
Maybe Mataji, that when Lord Vishnu was coming, maybe that when that Lord Vishnu was coming, he was so powerful that all the winds came.
Your voice is very low. What is it, Smriti? Can you speak again?
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yeah, say it again.
So, maybe when Lord Vishnu was coming, then he was so powerful that so he was far away. Then those winds were coming.
Okay, let's see. Abhigya, can you say?
I think it might represent Maya, like how all of us, like when it's trying to attract us to all material things, we're all like trembling, like we feel attached to it.
Very good, very nice. So Devi, you wanted to say something?
Mataji, my guess is when Lord Vishnu is coming, Garuda will flap his wings to come, right? So the flapping may create big winds.
Okay, that's a good guess. Okay, so let's see what it is. So as you can see here, what is mentioned here? Maya, like Abhigya was saying.
Wait, Mataji, what does it mean by chanting or Maya?
That's what I'm going to explain it now. So it so happens that when we are trying to become devotees or when we are already devotees, and it happens, right, when we are trying to chant, when we take up our beats, it so happens that we get these thoughts in our mind. Who all has gone through this? Whenever we think of something, chanting or any other activity related to Krishna consciousness, we get all these thoughts in mind. Like probably someone gets thoughts of watching TV or playing a game or just sleeping for some more time, right? Whenever uh, one is trying to be
Mataji, this guy slept for so long that he put his sock on his hand.
Yes. So, honestly speaking, it has happened to me many times. So, who is that? Who is putting these thoughts in our minds? Who is that? So that's
Mataji,
right.
for the person who's sleeping, I actually think they were actually extremely tired. So they were like sitting on the bed and they were taking off the sock, but they fell asleep.
Yeah,
That's where the other sock's still on the leg.
that's possible. Yes. He's tired or he's just feeling lazy that, oh, I don't even want to take my seconds out because I just want to sleep for some more time. So he's just sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And then when we are playing a game, but we know that we have 1 or 2 rounds to chant, but then we think, okay, 10 more minutes I will play and then I will chant. After 10 minutes, we think, okay, 5 more minutes, it doesn't matter. I will chant after that. Keeps going on and on and on, right? Maya keeps distracting you. Does it happen to anyone? Has it happened? I accept it honestly. Does it happen with you too? Yes, it shows. See here also.
Like if I go, I don't go like I asked for 10 more minutes, but that's
Huh?
it works for me. But like I just asked for 10 more minutes, and that's it.
That's it. And then you close and go.
Yes.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Anyone wants to share their experiences, how it happens with them, how it has happened with them? That when you're trying to do some chanting, and then you get thoughts and then you get distracted.
What I do is I say 10 more minutes, and then when my parents give me, I use the 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes just to find a place to hide, and then after that I come out. And when it's too late, when it's like breakfast time or lunch time or dinner time, or like it's like basically when it's too late, so like my dad or mom can't tell me that I have to do it then.
So when you want 10 minutes, you go and hide. That's what you do. Shriyan? That's what I
Yeah, so apparently Shreyan is and hides. After he goes and hides, he stays there for the rest of the day until it's lunchtime.
Okay. Okay. Preethi, you want to share?
When I wake
No,
up in the
Mataji, that
morning,
was for the previous question.
Okay. I thought Smriti was sharing some.
Mataji, when I wake up every morning, it might be 7 or 8, but I always think 10 more minutes. And once it's 10 minutes, they said, okay, 2 more minutes. Let's wait till it's 8:30 and then it'll become 2 hours.
Yeah, that's also pretty common, right? It happens with me also. Whenever it's time to get up and chant, I feel like, okay, 10 more minutes. I'm so tired. After 10 minutes, again, we keep snoozing the alarm. So this is how Maya plays. So here is that's what happens. So this is what is shown here. See, one is engaged in Lord's devotional service in the material world may sometimes be very much disturbed by awkward circumstances. So there is always a war between two parties, right? This is given by Srila Prabhupada. What he says, the illusory energy and the devotee. And when sometimes the weak devotee, he falls victim to the powerful illusory energy. It happens, right? Whenever we fall, we are weak, we are not able to face it, we fall for that, right? We fall for Maya. And then we continue what Maya wants us to do, and we just stop doing what we were actually thinking of doing, right? So this is what happened here. Lord Brahma, you can see, although he's such a powerful devotee, strong devotee, Maya came in the form of this strong, violent wind to distract. Then what happened? Let's read next. Who wants to read next? Samskruti, did you want to read? You had raised hand, or anybody else? You all know that there is a feature called raise hand, right? Whoever wants to read can raise their hand. Samskruti, go ahead.
Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization has matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus he drank the wind completely along with the water.
So what happened? What did he do here?
He drank the wind and
Drank
water.
the wind completely, along with the
Water.
water. So you can imagine, right? Like there, he was sitting on the lotus, and then suddenly there was a strong wind. And then what he did, he drank that wind completely, along with the water. How he could do that? How did he do that? What is mentioned here? Because of what? It's mentioned in the first two lines.
Devotion.
Yes, and also here, long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization. He had attained that knowledge with the penance and everything. And then he could easily drink that wind completely. Similarly, what it shows us, if we try to become strong in devotion or good devotees of Krishna, Krishna will help us too, right? See, he will look at our intention of pleasing the Lord, right? So even though we are thinking that, okay, let me watch for some time, but then strongly if we decide that, no, I have 2 more rounds, I want to chant, then Krishna will help you, right? Krishna helps. So when we try to know more and more about Krishna, and when we make efforts, then Krishna helps, right? And then Krishna showers his causeless mercy. So efforts and mercy, I have highlighted these two. Where you have heard these two words? Efforts and mercy. You all forgot about that pastime? The 2 fingers. Nobody? Yes. Okay, in Damodar Lila, we have heard these words, right? Anyone remembers? Unmute and tell me.
Mataji, can you ask the question again?
No, I was asking where you have heard these 2 words, efforts and mercy. That's what we are talking about now, right? Abhigya, yes. You can unmute and just tell me.
Like in Damodar Leela, when Yashoda tries to tie Krishna, like it was always 2 inches long, which meant I think determination and love.
Yes, correct. So here it's mentioned such control of the material energy can be most successfully carried out if one is a soul surrendered If we are completely surrendered, then we can successfully carry it out. Okay, we will move next because I think it's already time. Let's read this verse. Who wants to read? What happens after that? Let's read that. Kabir, you want to read? Go ahead.
Thereafter, he saw that the lotus on which he was situated was spread throughout the universe, and he contemplated how to create all the planets which were previously merged in that very same lotus.
Yeah. What happened after that? So
It-
go ahead.
It shows how all the planets were already generated by
Just explain. Did you understand whatever we read? Did you understand what we read? What happened after that? So first what we saw, that where Brahma was sitting, that lotus and the water, they were all trembling because of the wind. Then Brahma drank that wind. And then what happened after that? The lotus where he was sitting, it was spreading throughout the universe. Okay, you have to start imagining what's happening, start to visualize. Okay, and he contemplated how to create all the planets. Then he understood how he can create all the planets which were previously merged on the same lotus. All the planets were actually there on the same lotus. Can you imagine? Lord had already kept everything ready for Lord Brahma. Planets were there, everything was there, living entities were there in Brahma. Lord had kept everything ready, okay, for Brahma to create. Okay, and then let's see next. Who wants to read? Others can also raise hands. I don't see any new raised hands. Any new hands?
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, who's that?
Samskriti.
Go ahead.
What does Brahma use his other heads for?
Just made with 4 heads. I don't know exactly why he's made like that. Maybe you can ask Preethi Vilasini Mataji when she comes next. But
Mataji, I know.
Yes, tell me.
So he can see everything at every time.
All directions. Yeah, that can be one reason. Okay, who wants to read next? Let's move next because you have next class coming. Preethi Vilasini Mataji is coming for your Sanskrit class. Isha, do you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
1 second. Next one is this one. Yeah.
Thus, engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma entered into the whirl of the lotus, and as it spread all over the universe, he divided it into 3 divisions of worlds, and later into 14 divisions.
So what happened?
Lord Brahma.
Okay, let's see until here. What happened after that? When he could understand that the lotus was spreading throughout the universe, right? And then what happened? He entered into the world of the lotus. Okay. And then
Mataji, what does whirl mean?
It's like the circular, that center part of the lotus. Okay. And as it spread all over the universe, he divided it into 3 divisions that were 3 divisions of worlds, and later into 14 divisions. Okay. What is that and all that we will see later. But this is how he divided it into 3 worlds and then 14 divisions. Okay. Next verse we will read. Radha, do you want to read? Radha? Can you read the last word?
Mataji, can I read the last paragraph?
Jan, go ahead. I don't know if she can hear me. Go
Lord,
ahead.
Lord Brahma is the most exalted personality in the universe because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord and immature transcendental knowledge. He therefore created all of 14 planetary divisions for inhabitants, the different types of living being entities.
So what is mentioned here? Because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord, he in mature transcendental knowledge, with the devotional service and the knowledge he had attained, he could create these 14 planetary divisions. Okay, so what all we saw so far? Vidura is asking a question about Lord Brahma, how he created, and then we saw that how Lord Brahma, he was actually sitting on the lotus. What happened to that lotus? Now you all tell me. What happened? What?
There was a violent wind and the lotus and the water.
Yes, and then what happened? What Brahma after that? He behind the, just unmute yourselves and tell me quickly, then you can know.
The water and the wind.
Yeah, yes. And then what happened? This lotus started to spread throughout the universe, right? And then he could understand how he could create all the planets, because they were already there on lotus. Okay. And then how what all he created? He divided it in, he went to the world, and then what all he did? It's written there. You all can just unmute and tell me. What he did? He divided it into
3 divisions.
3 divisions.
of what? And into later into
14 divisions.
14 divisions.
yes. So you will look what happened after that, that you will see tomorrow. Okay, and in your next following classes. So we will stop here. Okay, and then now Preethi Mataji will take over for your Sanskrit class. Okay, thank you for joining. I'll see you all next week.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, kids. We'll have a minute. So, do you all remember who was teaching us Sanskrit? What all you learned in Sanskrit? Can you tell me?
Vilasini Mataji.
Yeah, what all she taught you in the Sanskrit?
About relationships and fruits and vegetables, I think.
Yeah, fruits and
Solar
vegetables.
systems.
Solar system, yes. What else she taught you? Solar system, fruits and vegetable. Did she taught you V?
No,
Did
Mataji.
she teach us what?
Sanskrit?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, she taught all of that, right? Okay. What we will do is, we will do a short revision. Actually, I don't know. Preethi Mataji was there on the call. Maybe she got another call or something. She's not there on the call now. So we will do one thing. We'll do a quick recap. Is that okay, all of you? So what all you remember? Any fruit name that you want to say? Any food items? Food items also we have learned, right? What is yogurt rice called? Anybody remember? So many nice things Mataji has already taught us.
Yeah, we did.
Like fal, the fruit.
What is that?
Fal of the fruit, something like that.
I am not able to hear your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. Like fala for fruit.
fruit. Yeah, phala means fruit. Yes, very good.
I remember Kashmir Rafal. Or what is it called? Is that right?
Kashmir Fal.
It's an apple. It's an apple.
It's an apple. Okay, okay. Got it. Let me just quickly open that PPT for you so then.
Kashmir Fal is an apple. Yeah, he's right.
What
You're
else you
right.
remember?
Yeah, I remember yogurt's like dadi, I think.
Ah, yogurt is dadi. In which sloka that Mataji taught us? In which place it comes? All that you have to, sharpen your brain now. Try to think from where that dadi Mataji. Mataji is very good, right? She taught us the name and also
Dadi Lobha.
sloka it comes. Hare Krishna.
Tadi vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate.
Yes, Sudevi, very good. Can you say that sloka? You are awesome, Sudevi.
Kshiram dadi vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate.
Mataji, shall I say the full sloka? Mataji, shall I say?
Yeah.
Mataji, can I say the whole sloka?
Yes, Mukund, go ahead.
Okay, Mataji. Shriram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nai tata pratagastetam yastam Yasambutam apitata samapeti karya govindamani purusham tamaham bhajami.
Very good.
I am here, Mataji.
Oh, you're there, Mataji? Okay.
I'll download. Thank you for that.
Mm. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji
They
is
are just revising, Mataji. I was asking them tell the names and also tell the sloka where it comes, like footstep. They are talking about the what is that? Yogurt. Dadi, right? Dadi. Yeah, they told the sloka also for that. Yeah, next item and the sloka where it comes. Mataji has given us many examples.
okay.
She'll take over.
Thank you. So in this verse, okay. So in this verse, remember this, we saw Krishna, what did he eat in the forest? When he goes for lunch, what does he eat? What does Bhagavatam say? When Krishna goes to the forest, he carries foodstuffs with him, right? So when the pastime of Aghasura happened, remember the boys, they told about the incident 1 year later, right? During the Brahma Vila. So at that time, what Krishna carry with him in the bag? What was the lunch he took? Can everyone hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, everybody is thinking.
Oh, okay. No. Oh. Curd rice, yes, yogurt rice. That's what you see in the picture. So we discussed this earlier and we were trying to see what is yogurt rice. Learned yogurt is, what is the name for yogurt?
Dadi!
So what is yogurt rice called?
The chavalam or whatever.
Kalvalam
Good, very nice, very nice. That was that Suraj?
Isha.
Isha, very good.
Mataji, I was thinking of Dadi Chavalam or whatever.
Yes, correct, very nice. Yes, Radha. Very nice.
I
Thank you.
think is annam rice.
Yes.
Dadi annam.
Dadi Annam, Dadi Chavalam, very nice. Yes, very nice. One more word for rice we saw. So everything is correct, but there was one particular word for rice that we saw. Rice had many names, right? Annam, here. Annam, what else did we see? I know, someone just said it. I'm sorry, I just missed that. What did, Annam. I know. Annam.
Mataji, Bhojanam.
Bhojanam. Okay. What else do you remember? Similar to Bhojanam. What do you call curd rice in your language, in your native language?
Elganam.
Huh?
Dahi bat for me. Dahi bat.
Elgu Annam.
Mataji, for me, it's
Pannam. Party, it's dahi bat.
Dahi bhat. Then you said annam.
Mataji, for me,
In Tamil, it's dahi sadam.
Thair sadam.
In Telugu, it means pergannam.
Perugannam. Okay.
in
What
Nepal,
name is there?
Mataji,
Hmm.
in Nepali,
What is milk in Sanskrit again?
What is milk? Milk has many names. Paya is one. Dugdha is one. So there are many such names.
Give me the easiest one to say in spell.
Mataji, one of milk's name is milk.
Yeah, one of
Mataji, also Shira.
Shira, very nice. Yes, Shira. Shiro Udakashayi Vishnu. Shiro Udakashayi Vishnu.
Sagar.
Shiv Sagar, yes. So there was one word I was looking for. It starts with Dadyo, and then for yoga tries.
Mataji, Daddojanam. They call Daddojanam also.
Yes, Dadyodhanam actually. Odana means rice. Odanam. Odanam means rice. So Dadi plus Odanam is Dadyodhanam. But of course, depending on the language that you speak, it's slightly changed. You say Daddojam. So depending on the language, of course. But actually, the word is Dadyodhanam. Odanam means rice. Dadi is yogurt. So traditionally, it's called Dadyodhanam. But in this particular verse, I want you to focus and tell me where curd rice mentioned, yogurt rice, where is it mentioned? It's not called as Dadyodhanam, it's called something else.
Masana Kavalam.
Fantastic. Masara. Masara is also yogurt. Okay. Kavalam means balls. Okay. Like basically balls of rice is called as kavalam. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, if you do not offer Buddha to Krishna and eat it, if you don't offer food to Krishna and eat it, it's you are eating balls of sin. So when he says balls of sin, that kavalam, it is kavalam. Kavalam means a handful of rice is called kavalam. So what is Krishna eating here? He is eating masrana kavalam. Here is the word masrana. Very nice food prepared with rice and first class curd, first class yogurt. Masrana kavalam. So what we understood is that masara, masrana, masaru. For example, in Kannada, anyone speaks Kannada here?
What, Mataji? Kannada?
Kannada language, anyone speaks? I thought Raghav speaks. Raghav and what's his brother's name? Prahlad. I think they're not there. But Masaru is one of the names for yogurt. Okay. So we saw Masaru, we saw Dhadi. So like that, there are many, many names. Okay. So that was about yogurt and yogurt rice. This is, what is this? What do you see in the picture?
Butter.
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 Yeah. So what is Krishna celebrated as? Krishna is called as?
Makhan.
Four.
Oh, very yeah. So other names for Makhan, other names are Navaneet. Navaneet, you've heard of Navaneet Shore? Makhan Shore, Navaneet Krishna, Navaneet Krishna. Navaneeta is butter. There's another name for butter which is Hayangavina.
It's in the Chaurashtakam.
Yes, you're right.
Mataji, I got a question.
Yes, buddy, tell me.
What's the difference between butter and milk butter, even though they're both made of cow milk?
What's the difference between butter and buttermilk?
Buttermilk.
So, when milk is curdled or you put an acidic, like, you just recited the words when I entered the call, Shriram Yadadi Vikaram, right? So when when it is transformed, it becomes yogurt. When it is transformed, when it comes in contact with an acidic substance vapor, or when it comes in contact with yogurt culture, a little bit of old yogurt, if you put it in milk, it becomes fresh yogurt, right? So this yogurt, you dilute it, and you really make it really thin. Put a lot of water and dilute the yogurt. It is called as buttermilk. The reason is because as you churn that diluted yogurt, you can separate butter. Okay, you can separate butter from the diluted yogurt, while churning the diluted yogurt. So when you churn buttermilk, you get butter. So buttermilk is nothing but diluted yogurt. What you call as lassi, not lassi. What else do you call it? The drink that you have?
Chas?
Chas, very good.
Chach.
Yes, chas. So that is called as takra. It's called takra. The chas is called takra in Sanskrit. And when you churn that buttermilk, you keep churning, you get butter. That's why butter is also called as mantaja. Mantha means to churn, right? So when you see the Samudra Manthan, so what did they do? They went to the ocean of milk, Mandara Parvat inside, and then they start turning the milk ocean, right?
Mataji, what if some part of the milk ocean is butter?
What is that? Which part?
What if some part of the milk ocean is actually butter?
Yeah. So when they were churning, that churning process is called as mantha, because the churning rod is called as a mantha. Because the it's coming out of that, it's called mantaja. Ja means to be born, because it's coming out of the process of churning. Butter is also called as mantaja. That's what you see on the screen.
Mataji, Mataji, in the Sea Sagar, where there's lots of milk, the milk ocean, what do they do with all that milk?
What do they do with all that milk? It just stays there. Lord Vishnu reclines on his sesha there. Reclines on a serpent bed Ananta in the Shivka.
Mataji, are you allowed to go to the Shirsagar and just swim there or drink from there?
You can. If you get there, definitely they'll allow you to swim and drink.
Okay. And does milk have any type of oxygen in it?
Maybe it should have, right? It should dissolve oxygen, because it's after all a liquid. It's like water, right? So it should have oxygen. Have you seen bubbles, Suraj? When you boil milk, you see bubbles, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
That means you can probably swim in it. And there might even be animals in it.
Yes, because like Mataji, I can stay underwater 40 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds just because of the air I'm holding. And like 5 seconds while I'm releasing the last bit of while I'm releasing the air, and then the last 5 seconds for breathing. The oxygen.
Right, you're right, you're correct. So that's how it works. So similarly, milk is also kind of a liquid, though it's slightly more viscous than water, still it is liquid, right? So it can dissolve. Very good, Suraj. Okay, so we learned.
Mataji, if we could we just doesn't like anyone in Vaikunta or just Vishnu just stay there and have a glass next to him?
He always has all his associates. So everybody is present there. Even in the Shir Sagar, when he is reclining on Ananta, all his associates are present. Vishnu never stays alone. Of course, in the pictures, you just see him alone with Lakshmi. But actually, close associates are present. Yeah.
Mataji, so when he's on in the milk ocean, so doesn't he have a cup next to himself? And then whenever he wants, he can just scoop a bunch of milk and then just drink.
Of course he can. It's so easy to get milk there, right? Yeah, good point. Very lucky people. Anyway, here we see grita, ghee, right? So ghee, you call it ghee. Ghee is actually derived from grita. Grita, that is ghee. And because it is formed from butter. Have you seen Amma make ghee at home? Anyone has seen how your mom makes ghee at home? No? You know what she does? She just buys a block of butter from Costco, and then she puts it on the pan, and then she lets it boil down. Okay, she just heats it over a period of time, that butter becomes ghee. So it's very easy actually to make ghee. You just have to heat butter. Okay. And then you have to filter it out and you get this golden color liquid called as ghee. Okay. Now, so therefore, because it's you getting it from butter, you just saw butter is Navaneet, right? So if something is born from Navaneet, meaning if you derive something from Navaneeta, it is called as Navaneetaja. Okay. Anything that is derived from some source, it becomes born from that source. So just like how we saw, because of turning, butter was born, butter was called Manthaja. Because of butter, ghee was born, so ghee is called as Navaneetaja.
Mataji, so you said by making butter, you need to take like the milk and then you have to boil it, right?
For butter, actually, first, you first boil the milk, then you make it into yogurt. Okay, so there are different steps.
Wait, so you make it a yogurt and then what?
Then you can scoop out the cream that is present on top because the milk has boiled so well. It will have some thick layer of cream. Have you got raw milk at home by any chance?
Yeah, I have straw milk.
So what happens if there is a thick layer of cream, right? You can scoop out that itself and make butter. That is one way of making butter.
Also, that's why, like, whenever I take out the stuff from my cereal, the thing turns like it's melty and stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So you take that and you make butter.
Yeah.
And the butter turns into ghee.
Yeah, you're
if
right.
you heat the butter, so if you take that milk fat thing and you heat it, then it turns into ghee.
Correct. Very nice.
Okay, so Mataji, what makes ghee look like oil then?
What
Like, how could something pure white turn into something yellow?
That's a good question because of it's not pure water, the milk that we get, right? Because it's pasteurized and homogenized. Homogenizing means making everything, making all these suspended fatty items blend with the liquid. That is called as homogenization. So because all the fat in your milk is completely blended, it's pure white. Actually, when you milk a cow and you get milk, it will look slightly creamish because of all the suspended fat. That suspended fat is actually your butter. So the process of making butter is to separate that fat from the liquid. Your liquid is pure white, but the fat is yellow.
Well, so they took out the fat and they made it into butter and they're selling it separately?
Yes, dear. That's how they do it. Yes.
Okay, then Mataji, the store people are such big cheats.
We are not cheats. We are not smart. We don't know how to make it at home.
They're such big cheats.
Traditionally in India, people would make it at home. So what they would do, they would buy milk from the cow directly. The milkman would come to your house and pour milk in your container. He would milk the cow in front of you. Okay, he would bring the cow to your house to the front of your house. He would milk the cow. He would give fresh milk. Nice. It'll be very nice to get fresh milk. That milk, if you boil, you can either scoop out the fat right away, or you can make it into yogurt and then scoop out the fat. That fat is even better after you make it.
Because like at the time my dad was a kid, it was all milk packets.
Milk packet, yes. So that came later. So milk packet was a trend that developed when we were, our generation, your parents' generation. When we were growing up, milk packets came. But even before that, when we were really kids, okay, when we were in kindergarten and maybe primary school, or even when before we went to high school, the milkman used to bring milk for us. Of course, it depends on which part of the world you are in. I mean, which part of India you are.
Mataji. So the milkman will like directly bring a cow and just take out the milk?
So there were two ways of doing this. One is if you are in a smaller locality where there were a lot of cows, the milkman would do that. Like you read in the Bhagavatam, right? What do you read? Shukadeva Goswami, looking at Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami was one such person. There's a word I'll tell you that he would never stay in any, he would never beg in front of anyone's house for too long. He would stay or he would beg alms in front of a house only as much as it would take to milk a cow. That means to milk a cow, it was very quick. Okay. So in those days, traditionally, they would take the cow and they would take, milkman would take the cow along and go from one house to other and milk it in front of the householder and give that session those days. But things changed over a period of time. Over a period of time, what happened? These milk people, they kept the cows in their location, they milked the milk, then they brought it in containers to. So either way could have been possible. It depends on which location you are in. Okay.
Mataji, this has changed a little, but at my mom's house, this is what happens when they want milk. This milk guy comes. So from the top stairs, at the top stairs, there's some kind of thing where you can. So basically, outside the second stair, you can come. And then there's like this kind of bowl or can tied to a rope that's tied to the top of our second stair. So we let it down. He puts the milk and then we
crack it there. Yeah, we used to do that too. Yes, Priya, that's correct.
Yeah, very nice memories you're bringing up. Good job.
Yeah. So we used to get milk like that. So many ways, right? But ultimately, where is the milk coming from? It's coming from the cow. So from
it's not just used to be even at my mom's house, it still happens.
Still happening. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so ghee is called as Navnityaja. It is also called as Ghrutha.
So Mataji, the milkman, they come to your house. Okay, they milk it in front of you. So like, how are you supposed to pay them? Is it like the newspaper where like every month you have to make more subscription or what?
No, they would come and take the money monthly, like newspaper only. They would come and take monthly money.
Okay.
Okay, I think already Madhava kids would be here. It's 8:20. We'll have to stop. But we hardly did anything, but it was good to connect with all of you. Vrinda Mataji, it's 8:19. Madhava will be here, right? So
Yes, Mataji, we have to close this. Yes.
Okay, kids, it was nice talking to you all, but next class we'll try to proceed further and figure out more food items. Okay.
Thank you, Vilasini Mataji.
Bye.
Yes, Kripa Sindhu
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jai. Preethi Vilasini Mataji ki jai.
Vrinda Mataji ki jai, Vinita Mataji ki jai.
All kids ki jai. Very nice to see most of the kids on video. That makes a teacher very happy. Very good, kids. Thank you so much. I will like to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to join us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.